Hi there, welcome to Reiki Level 2. This is the second level of Reiki, and it's the middle class of Reiki, and it's a pretty big class. You learn a lot of things. You learned a lot of things in Reiki Level 1. There's even more to learn here in Reiki Level 2. And Reiki Level 2, one of the bigger things that you learn here, you learn majorly two things. You learn the Reiki Symbols, which is the Shokurei, it's the Seiheki, and it's the Honchaji Shonen. And these three symbols, there's a fourth symbol you learn in the master level, but not in the second, and not in level 2. And these three symbols are, they carry different functions, and they are very efficient once you are attuned to each symbol. And that's the thing that happens is much of what Reiki has to do with is intention. So there's an intentionality behind when we are connecting with somebody. Either we're working with people in the room, or here's another modality of Reiki that you get to learn in level 2. It's called distance Reiki. And distance Reiki is a little bit of a miraculous thing of looking at it from a Western point of view, at least for me. At least that's how I felt about it. When I was learning about it, I was like, oh, you really? Distance Reiki? What the heck is that? And because, regular Reiki, when you work on a client in the room, your hands are about this much over the body, or you touch. Some people touch and some people prefer to not, right? I prefer to work in the energy field for many different reasons, but the main reason is I feel more of the energy. I feel more of what's going on in the client's energy field. And so I pick up on more things that way. Now, when you go in and you work on somebody from a distance, I've done this now for a little while, where I've been working on people all over our world. I've been working on people in India, in South America, in Canada, in different parts of America, different states, in Sweden, in England, in different parts of our world, and it's been just as efficient no matter where I do it. And I've been from here. I've been working on people from my apartment. So it's a pretty fascinating and a little bit mind-blowing and mind-boggling thing that we're doing. And in one way to look at it, what we're really doing is we're tapping into the frequency of this other person. So much like a radio transmitter can, when you have a radio and a transmitter, you send out an antenna, right? You send out a certain signal, and this radio can pick it up if it's attuned into the right signal. Well, when we connect with somebody, we connect through the ether, the energy field of our world, and we can actually affect each other's energy fields through doing that. I know it sounds like mumbo jumbo. It sounds like something that for us Westerners, it's very difficult to even grasp. But if you really think about it, it's not much different from the Wi-Fi, how that works, right? The Wi-Fi from the wall, hitting our computers, hitting our phones. You can't see the signals, but they're still there. Magnetism works the same way. You have two magnets, and they are either attracting or pushing away from each other, but you can't see the forces that they exude, because our eyes are not made to see everything. And that's the same thing that goes for distance Reiki. We tap into energy levels and frequencies that are way beyond our normal understanding. So as we do that, we can become very efficient in working on people's energy fields from a distance. And it's been many experiences of mine have been more or less, I guess you can call them miraculous or out of this world. There's been times I worked on somebody here. I live in California and LA. I worked on somebody on the East Coast, and a person I used to know her 25 years ago, but I hadn't talked to her or met her or anything the last 25 years. And then we talked and connected through, she wanted some Reiki, and we connected, and I knew her as a very athletic person. And nowadays she has a different profession where she helps people. And I ended up, I did my session, and when I do some alternative methods as well. And so when I was feeling her lungs, I felt how they felt weak. And I felt like something was going on with the throat. So I ended up sucking something out of the throat. And when I did, I was like, oh, it smells like smoke. Why? She's not a smoker. There's no way she's a smoker. She's super healthy. And when we spoke after the treatment, I asked her, "Well, you're not a smoker, are you?" And she looked at me. She's like, "Yeah, I smoke 1 pack a day." And I've had so many of these kind of experiences where either I have been putting light on somebody, a certain kind of light, and later in that same day, somebody else who saw the person I was putting light on was, "Oh my God, you're glowing, you're shining of gold. There's golden light all around you." And I had been putting golden light on this person, and all these things that are happening that are very, very hard to explain and understand for a Western mindset aren't that tricky to understand for somebody who has more of an open mind. And that's where Reiki, in order to do Reiki, you have to suspend your Western in-the-box thinking and allow to understand that there could be energy forces out there that we are not aware of yet and that we're learning. And that Reiki practitioners or shamans across our world have been working with for a long time. So Reiki Level 2 goes deeper into things. It works with the symbols, which Hon Jajijonen is the distance Reiki symbol. The Seihei Ki is imbalances, emotional imbalances, and the Shokurei is a power symbol. Now, we also go in how to work with clients, what you're supposed to say, what you're not supposed to say, how you set up a treatment room, how a whole treatment session goes. And we also set up what we call a mental Reiki treatment room, which is a meditation. And then we learn about the substitute distance Reiki methods and other methods where Reiki works. That's Reiki Level 2. It's a lot of learning, but it's also 4 classes, an hour and a half to 2 hours per class. And at the end, the Reiki master performs an attunement, both to attune the student with the symbols and into Reiki Level 2, which is then a new frequency that we go into. So if you want to know more, please check out my website or hit me up, email or call me, and contact me. This is a beautiful journey we're on. Reiki healing is just the first step of a beautiful journey into energy healing work. So, namaste and aho.